Am I really ready to talk about this? Are you ready to talk about this? Because, wow, welcome to the. Oh, wow, I was peeking. I'm sorry. Welcome to this Seiko arc, and oh my god. Especially for your action fans, like the shonen action, like amazing, widespreads, whatever. You know like this is the chapter for that, and it is crazy to finally see Seiko in action. And to those of you that were sick of the wah soppy bullshit and like, oh yeah, found family, also fuck off. I shouldn't tell you guys to fuck off in the first minute. Come back, you can hate watch this, okay? Do I sound snotty? Anyway, um, here you go. We have this chapter of lore on Seiko, which is really interesting. Can I stop peeking? I feel like if I peek too much, let me know. I don't know. I can never tell. Although I could look at this recording. I could. Anyway, um, it's just that obvious lies. Anyway. Um, Seiko has a lot of potential narratives and like theories to really start opening up as we go into this new arc. And I think that's very exciting and very interesting. And I think last chapter was probably the beginning of that. Maybe um I probably not the one before. I want to say it was last chapter, which was 176, because this is 177. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the chapter number unless I'm uploading. But what's important with the structure of Dandadan, and as like most of the series goes, we tend to see that the characters from time to time have like fully fleshed out like flashbacks. And I say time to time because we don't have it for everyone, but I think that's somewhat intentional, maybe minus Quinta. Now, one important thing, and I've realized it, is especially like as the anime is coming out for Dandadan, Okarun doesn't really have that much. We know what kind of person Okarun used to be and what he's become, like all throughout the journey, but we don't really know anything about his parents. We don't really know about his upbringing. We see it a lot about Momo, like especially at the very beginning. And I think that's partly because if we refer back to Tatsu's interview, he actually probably intended to have Momo. In fact, I'm pretty sure he intended to have Momo as the main protagonist. And I've theorized this. Rin's kind of on the bland side compared to the rest, I think. Although, I also fucking hate what's it called? Cowabunga. Like the but that's whatever. But like with with Momo, she was intended to be the main character, but I think the feedback was like, no, female protagonist leads don't really work, especially in the shonen field. Big fuck you to Lucy Heartphilia, but we move because I bet most of you guys thought Natsu was probably the lead. I definitely did for a while. Um, Despite watching the first episode of Fairy Tale ages ago. Anyway, so lore, character lore. I feel like I've said nothing in 4 minutes. I trust me. This is just how it works. Okay, so we see flashbacks with Momo. We see stuff with Vamola. I think we see a bit of it with Jiji, or at least we get context with Jiji. Um, Actually, we have Jiji as a kid, especially thanks to the anime, which is great. We get a bit of I say a bit. We get quite a bit for Rin actually. We get Zuma and the police officer, and lastly Kouki. Now, yeah, I feel like the other. Am I forgetting anyone other than Quinta? I mean, I think Turbo Granny might have some stuff as well, but she's not the granny in focus at the moment. So all these characters at least have context, at least some sort of background context for what their situation um has brought them to their current like state for, right? Now, I think this is a great opportunity to peer into the lore of Seiko Ayase, you know? And I think it's really neat because Momo gets those flashbacks and there's like a trigger thing where she can kind of be like, let me let me peer into your past, baby girl. And like we saw it very explicitly in the anime with Aira recently, but we have it with Vamola, and then she ends up like, like remedying like friendship ties with her and stuff like that. So I don't know if it'll be because she's the grandma that we're just gonna get it from her, or if we're ever gonna get it like where like Momo is back in the fold and she's like, oh my god, like my grandma's been going through all this, or like she knows about Saint Germain. Now, okay, I'm gonna slap this in there, real quick. I want to say like the second last set of chapters, so like the fourth last page or something. I swear I thought I saw Saint Germain. It might just be his art style, but Seiko looked like Saint Germain. But that was just Seiko under like rubble or like hurt, right? So interesting because I thought Saint Germain kind of looked different from all the characters, but whether there's something in there, I don't know. Anyway, god damn it. I hate this time of year. I feel like my throat is never like properly clear. Now, where do I get back into the one? Okay. So in the last chapter, I have a lot of notes for this one, but I'm trying not to just read them. In the last chapter, we see that she's able to get a hold of a lot of very important people to her. Less so in like a, oh, I love you so much kind of like valuable, but more so like associates that are very valuable to, hey, do you need like an exorcism done? Go for it, dude. Like that kind of thing, or like just very important connections. Whether they're maybe even like connections to Saint Germain, right? And that'll be really interesting because of like the friends or the associates she has along the way. Um, so if we tend to have more and more characters introduced, it'll likely be because of her. Now, I really hope that this chapter goes in the direction from what it seems like it's going, where it's going to be Seiko heavy. This is a great opportunity for Turbo Granny to get involved again, and we get like Granny X Granny Power. I'm not shipping them. That's not what I meant. Put your stylus down, put your iPad pencil down, stop drawing it. Put it down. Anyway, um I think this chapter really puts her to the test. Going back into like actual like chapter analysis where or like this chapter where the last one kind of showed like how powerful her connections are, but in this one she's like in the thick of the action. She's doing basically, and I think that this was really cool that she basically did the same kick that Momo did to wriggle free from the aliens in the very beginning, whether it was like the first or second chapter, or definitely first episode, like that really like badass looking kick. That it runs in the family, and I think that's really beautiful. But um not to say that she's naive, and I don't think she is, but it really showed where her limits are, like this chapter. It seems like her like power and like her resources and stuff like that is like whatever she knows and whatever she's aware of, because she's very bright, but she probably just needs to know um the right things, because like everything else is just irrelevant to her or not as important. Not that she struggles to see the big picture in general, but she's not seeing a bigger enough picture with the powers in play, with the like the yokai powers and stuff. And we see her essentially lose. She doesn't die. I wouldn't consider um dying an indicator of loss, but thanks to a very hard bull, and it's the manga's words, it's not mine. Um the end of it just seems really interesting because you see her kind of like, holy fuck, I got like like I got like decimated, and like I, if that guy didn't interfere, I would have been a fucking goner, or at least like I'd be banished out of it because I don't know if they um I don't know if I don't know, like would Seiko just keep throwing hands and then very honorably die out, which would be really tragic, especially for Momo. Um, and the rest of the crew. I think the rest of the crew really adore her as well. But yeah, um, but her eating shit, right, is is very like such like a great way to provide a rude awakening that she is quite strong on her own, on her own, on her own, and I think she's able to, like, we've seen in big boss fights a few times at this point where everybody is kind of able to pull their weight, and the stronger the bosses get and the further along we get, we're gonna notice that's like Seiko is going to definitely require the help of not only her granddaughter, but probably everyone else. And it's really sweet that she's essentially gone down this like rabbit hole, I guess, because she really loves her granddaughter. Like it doesn't seem like that, again, like referring to the anime, because I think the anime expresses and like highlights it more, I think, because sometimes you can passively just read the manga and um miss the sentiment, but like, or like the like the intended emotion of that like moment in time, because wow, like I don't remember the manga at the beginning being that romantic. I think it was um like I knew it was there, but after Aira, I feel like it dwindles down a lot. But anyway, like, God. Seiko, like essentially to wrap this up, I think Seiko is going to need to, she's going to need to have to um get some help, because she's clearly not going to be able to handle this on her own. I don't know how the reconnection with the other crew is going to happen. I think this weird like back and forth where like it's like, and I say weird, it's going to be like Seiko Adventures today, or it's going to be like the crew, but I wouldn't be surprised if they remerge the cast, like the main cast together in the next few chapters, sort of thing, or like we slowly get back into that sort of thing. So we I really hope we don't have something tragic where Seiko like passes. um I This is a great opportunity for Turbo Granny to come back, and I like to really have some like granny sort of bond, and I think it'd be really cute. I think it would be um it'd just be really interesting, and Seiko has been, I want like, I feel like the word is humbled here, but I I like I think she knows, like she knows like the world is full of very powerful things, right? And that maybe maybe she'll be able to square up to Saint Germain and like other evil guys, but at the same time, like she will need some help. She will need some help. Wow, we're at 15 minutes. You listened to me for that long and you haven't subbed? Wow, that's impressive. I don't know. Is Chainsaw Man on next week? Next week? This week? I don't know. But we've got 2 more weeks of I think so. I think we have 2 more. Wait, let me check. I said, let me check. Yeah, we got 2 more weeks for this year's like chapter. So get excited, or at least a max of 2 weeks. I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling. Subscribe. Give me 200. No, don't do that.